Hello, huge welcome to episode 32, I checked, of the Dexter Loves Annie podcast. Welcome, my name is Kat. Dexter isn't with us anymore, but Annie, my little dog, is with us today, and she's hiding under the chair, having a little nap. I'm coming to you from sunny Buckinghamshire. It is very sunny today, absolutely tipped it down yesterday, so a bit of sunshine's quite nice. It's apparently 21 degrees, which is nice. It did get really dark really early yesterday. And this is my crafting, designing, general waffling podcast. Let's get on with it, shall we? This is going to be my last non-pre-recorded podcast, I think, until after my operation, which is next Friday the 13th of September. What month are we on? I don't know. What planet? Let's try. So, unless I can squeeze another little one in next week, because I'm knitting a lot, but then I might be packing, I don't know. I've pre-recorded a question and answer video already for you. I'm going to pre-record a little show around my books and my knitting needle storage, and that'll come to you while I'm recovering, and hopefully it'll all work out and I'll be back and you'll have not missed me too much. So shall we get on with it? Yes, finished object. I was going to say no finished objects, and then I saw the finished object. I had to go back over the last podcast to see whether I actually showed this finished or not, and I don't think I did. So let's go there. This is the Mainstay hoodie by Rowan Cades, Kelly Menzies. This is for my nephew for his birthday, which is coming up at the end of September. It has a hood. It's got a little cars for buttons. Don't know how long they'll last because they're plastic, but he's going to love them, and I'll just replace them when they fall apart. It's done in acrylic, and I'm not even liking touching it right now, but they need to be able to put it in the washing machine because he's a boy and he's a child, and they are messy. So this was the largest pattern this is the largest size in the pattern, which is 2 to 3 years. I'm going to wrap it up for his birthday. He's also getting a Batman costume for his birthday, and I got him like a little jellyfish that has lights in it and stuff. He loves lights and things, so hopefully he'll like that. Although the closest to boy colours I could get was lilac, but colours don't have genders, so hopefully he'll like it. Really love this. I wish it was in bigger sizes, because I would probably make him one of these every birthday, every year, for a few years, but I might try and size this up, grade it up to the next size for next year. Could do with some practice, because it's been 30 years since I've done any kind of grading. So, Mainstay hoodie, Rowan Cades, that's acrylic, Naka Astro. There's a whole saga with that yarn. You probably know if you've been watching. So there we are. That is the only finished object that I've got for you today. A small in progress is a hat for my sister's boyfriend. He fishes, and he likes to wear a hat under his hoodie, so he doesn't have pom-poms on him. And I made him one, and it was alpaca. It was more alpaca than wool, and he felted it. He put it in the hot wash. So I've made him wait for another one. It's an accident. It's fine. But this is it now. Nice camo fisherman colours. It's the same yarn that I used for my sheepy cardigan. There's no pattern. Not really sure how I'm gonna do the crown. I think it's something like decrease every 10, stitches, then every 9, then every 8, I think. We'll see when we get there. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. And I'm at the end of the ball and it's gone like spaghetti. There we go. Right, oh my goodness. So that yarn is Drops Alaska in the colourway Dark Olive. Little break there too, as my dad would say, unpack my trunk. A bit of a sneezing session going on. Right, next project. I haven't done the sleeves on my colourwork jumper yet. That's still in the bag. That might come out next. But the other colourwork jumper that I talked to you about, which was Make Your Own Garden, I have done my swatch. If you remember in my last podcast, I showed you the yarn that I bought to use, and I'm going to just dig that out now. This is Woolly Mama Yarns, scrumptious colourway Gelato, very scrumptious, and Yarn Smith's 4-ply. That's from one with a band on it. Merino sock in black, because I wanted a contrast. I wasn't sure whether the variegation was going to work with this, so I did a swatch. I don't need a tension swatch. Oh, excuse me, got a bit of an allergy to something today. But here it is. I think it works. I think it's enough, and I think Annie's going to disturb us. So there we go. Now, that is supposed to be a dragonfly, and I'm very glad that I did this as a swatch, because that looks terrible. It looks bloody awful. So I won't be putting that on the jumper. I don't know what all this is all about. I think it's because it's on the diagonal. I swatched in the round, so because that is the best way to do it, to see how it goes in terms of sizing, and then you cut the floats and tie them if you think they're going to misbehave. But unfortunately, what that's done is it's made a mess of the edges, and I don't know whether that's contributed to this weird, looks like some sort of peacock head coming out of dragonfly. So yeah, it's a bit wonky on the edges, so I don't know whether that's contributed. I don't think it has, and I have checked the colourwork chart just now just to see whether I think it's me. It's not me. Don't like it. So that's an easy lesson learned without too much pain. I will use another chart, and actually, to be fair, in the jumper that she made in the sample here, she hasn't used that chart, so it could be that she didn't trust that chart either. I don't know. There we go. Let's pop that away. So that's Choose Your Own Garden by Grey Owl Knits, and that will be happening sometime over the next couple of months. But just wanted to put that out there, that I was a good girl and I swatched. Okay, this is nearly finished. So this is a jumper for my sister. It was supposed to be for her birthday. I don't know whether I would have got it finished in time, but catching COVID did kind of put scuppers on the plans. So it wasn't finished. But I got her something else instead, and that's fine. This can be for Christmas, because that's not that far away. Obviously not blocked. Still got this button band to get through. I want to go through the button box to get some buttons for her. If you've watched before, you see that I retrieved 3 big tins of boxes from my mum's, my late mum's stash, and I'd like my sister to have some of mum's buttons on there. It probably won't occur to her or bother her at all that, you know, that's what they are, but to me that's a thing. And yeah, so I'm going to go through and find some buttons to go on. Plus, there's no point in me buying buttons. I've got a million. I used the colourwork from the colourwork heart chart from Bean and Olive by Drea Renee Knits, which I'm also knitting up and haven't touched for a while. I've also got the sleeves to do on that. Seems to be a bit of a thing with sleeves. I finished this sleeve last night. I did a few extra stitches in the underarm because I find it's not massive on me, but my sister's quite conscious about her arms, and I thought I'd just make them bigger so that there's no question of it being tight on her. It's quite puffy. Well, I don't like a puffy cuff. Don't like a puffy cuff. So I did do the shaping, but because I went up a needle, and I probably didn't need to, you go up half a size on the sleeves because you're working in a smaller diameter, and so you tend to knit slightly tighter. So the compromise meant that this fabric is actually a lot looser than the body fabric, which meant it got longer quicker. So I had to kind of speed up the decreases, and the cuffs are actually a bit wider than what the pattern said. I think you're supposed to end up with 48 stitches, and I ended up with 52. That's fine. It's fine. It's going to be awesome. Just got to finish that button band, choose some buttons, and decide whether I'm doing big buttons or small buttons, because that will determine what size button holes that I make. So that will be finished today so that I can get it blocked. Very, very excited about that. This is my last ball. I had to buy 2 more balls of yarn to get this finished. My project bag's falling apart. Sorry, that was the postman fighting with my door. Drop Sleemer is the yarn that I've used. It's really lovely. Wool and alpaca is really squashy. 65% wool, 35% alpaca. The colourway is 9015, some sort of grey. And then I used like a cerise shade. A big bag of yarn here. This one was the colourwork, and that is colour 9028. They never put the colour names on the bands, which I think is annoying. But never mind, whatever. Yeah, so that's going to be finished today, so I'm pleased with that. I did cast on. I did have a cast on sesh. I was making the cardigan for my sister. I was almost on track for her birthday, then got COVID, obviously slowed down. About 3 days I couldn't work on anything. I wasn't really with it. And then I didn't have a pair of socks on the go, other than the ones up by the bed, but they're vanilla, and they're kind of boring me. I'll get them done eventually, but they're not priority. And I've bought a couple of patterns recently, even though I'm trying to get through all of the patterns that I've already bought and get those done, because I think I tend to buy them and not finish them. So I have cast on Kelly's last pattern, Rowan Cade's. No, not those. I've got a little peg in to keep my place, but it's keeping the wrong place. I've cast on my Cumulus socks, which was, I think that's the last pattern she brought out. And again, because I'm enjoying doing the pattern, it's working up quite quickly. It's not a pattern that has gone into my head very easily at all. In fact, I'm having to read every line. But that's fine, because I can do 2 things at once if I really try. When I first was knitting it, I didn't like the pattern. I was like, oh, that's really weird. And then I realised, can't you numpty? It doesn't go that way up, does it? And then I turned it up that way, and I love it. So there's a lesson learned. Let me get my hand in so I can show you the pattern. The eyes look like sort of swirly clouds. Very apt name. Love it. I love the pattern. And I'm doing it as per the pattern. I have done the number of repeats for the leg that she said. Sort of at the beginning of the year, I was only doing a few so that everything was shortest for the summer, but I'm kind of aware that we're getting into colder weather, and that's just kind of dictating what I do. I did a slightly more longer rib than she said, because normally she does 14 rows for her rib. So I just did that before I even looked at the pattern, and then it's only 12. But anyway, it's fine. A couple extra rows won't hurt anyone. I am into the gusset. There's a couple of extra stitches to what I would normally do in there. So I need to not get too cocky and start the foot too early. Make sure I count the stitches properly. But I'm there. And I will be able to pick that back up again this evening after I've finished my cardigan. So I'm very happy about that. That is all the knitting really that I can show you that's going on. That's all I'm doing really at the moment. There is a pair of socks upstairs, but I'm just doing the foot. No, I'm not. I'm doing them toe up. So I'm doing the leg now, and I'm just going to keep going until they're finished. And then I've got a contrasting cuff to go on. So there's really no point in showing you that, because you'll be as bored as I am with them. So let's get on to what I bought. I've made a couple of purchases recently. I needed more grey for my sister's cardigan, and I love that material so much. I've bought myself my own. It's the colourway Petrol, and it's gorgeous. It's kind of a petrol-y blue. I don't normally wear blue, but I'm getting more into blue. I'm happy about that. And there was still the discount, the sale was still carrying on. That's Annie drinking, if you can hear slurpy noises. People eating and drinking is disgusting, but dogs, when they eat and drink, somehow is cute. I don't understand. Colourway number is 0701, and I think I might devise my own colourwork pattern to go across the top of this. I'm going to be adventurous. As well as that, I have ordered some hat yarn. I thought I could do coordinating with my husband, and I might do a design. I might do a colourwork and a design and a thing. So again, with drops, because they are awesome and they are affordable, and I love the colours. How cool is that? So that's a brown colour, and that's kind of a peachy colour. So I thought between us we could do one predominantly brown for him with some of this in it, and then one predominantly in this with some brown in it for me. So there's going to be a design coming out, I think, if I can swing it. I'm not too tired or off my face on painkillers after the op. That'll be really nice. I am a bit of a sucker for hats. I love hats. In fact, last year I did actually, because I needed a new winter coat. The old one was getting a bit raggedy. I deliberately bought one without a hood, so that I had to wear hats. So that's it for purchases. There is another order coming tomorrow, because I didn't realise it was coming around so soon, but I have signed up for the Westnitz knit along with the shawl. I've got so many shawls, I don't need any more. I'm doing the Westnitz because it's fun, it's a knit along, and also the engagement on the channels, you know, not the worst thing. I just hope it's better than last year. Last year was my first year, and if you didn't see any of the thing that went on, there was a hate symbol in the middle accidentally. He didn't do it on purpose. And you can watch my videos if you want to rehash that. I'm not going to go back to that. But yeah, starts on the 1st of October, so I will be 2 weeks out of surgery. So I have to Annie's making me laugh. She's being a funny little girl. She's throwing the pillows off of the sofa. She kind of gets her head under them and launches everything. Annie, you're distracting me. Stop it. She doesn't care. Zero shit's given over here, she says. So I'm going to get to the exciting part of my podcast and show you the things that I've been making. So as you probably hopefully are aware, I make stitch markers. I've got some Balloon Dog Progress Keepers stitch markers. They're really light. They're only about 4 grams. So I have used them on sock yarn. I don't know where my blue one is. It's hanging off one of them. Oh yes, there he is, hanging off my hat. Loads of colours. I've run out of the dark bright pink now, but all the other colours are there. And so I've kind of been finding other fun things to make into stitch markers for you guys. So let's start with, I've had to put my stool up against the door because I've got the window open in the kitchen and it's kind of blowing open. So I have got robins and ladybugs, a set of 4 of those. That's the shop name and it's on Folksy. I'll put the link down below. Then I've got a little sea themed set. Come on, hold still. Oh, you're a tricky bee. Right, there you go, sea themed set. So a seahorse, they're very light, tiny little fishy. I hope it's focusing. Starfish and then a little shell. So, why didn't I put that down? That would have been helpful. And then I've picked up the wrong set. Hang on. Yeah, I picked up 2 robins and ladybirds instead of the other one, which is this, which is just the 2 little fishes and 2 shells. So those are my little multi-sets that are available in the shop. And then these are the most exciting things I've ever seen. And they're on the floor. Oh, come here. So excited with these. How cool are they? They are Stanley cups, keep cups, whatever you want to call them. They are relatively heavy. They're about 11 grams. So for the bigger projects, or on your project bags, I only ever use lever backs because I find them the most practical, and I find most people prefer those. They're just so amazing. And I've been sitting there making them all up into stitch markers this morning. How cool are they? There's only a few of these. I'm not going to get loads of beads in initially. I'll see how they go, and I'm only keeping the shop open until next Wednesday. So move quickly. I've only got one of these out each at the moment. Link will be down below. I hope you like them. I love them. I need one in each colour. Yeah, my stitch marker set tin is going to need another tin. Oh dear. Love them. Yeah, that's the trouble. So many people make such awesome stitch markers, and I know I've got a load in my advent that I did, my DIY advent. So I know there's a load in there. I'm going to need a bigger tin for my stitch markers. I've already had to set up a tin for my gibbets for my Crocs. If you need to know what that is, let's show you. So on the Crocs shoes, they have holes in the tops. And you put these in. They have little plugs to help you pop them in. These are for my white summer Crocs, even though it's not really summer anymore. So that's what gibbet is. Yeah, I need a bigger. I've got a tin for them, and now I need to get a bigger tin for my stitch markers because I've got tons, and I love them, and I don't care. Sorry, not sorry. So I think that is the end of the podcast. And honestly, I think actually I'm reacting to that alpaca. Itchy nose today, sorry. Yeah, that's the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I love getting your comments and your questions and your interaction. Thank you for that. And I'm going to be away for a little while, but I will be back as soon as I'm able. Major surgery does take a lot out of you, so I understand. So I might be tired for a bit, but I'm going to be back as soon as I can. I'm just going to be sitting here, so there might be opportunities. Itch again. Opportunities to record, so fingers crossed it won't be too long till I come back. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate you all, and I will see you on the other side. Goodbye.